Hello, my dear children and parents. Welcome to Indus Valley Public School RAT e-learning classes. Class 9th, where we were doing lesson number 6, My Childhood, related to APJ Abdul Kalam, an extract from Wing of Fire. And this lesson belongs to your book Beehive. Children, we have all studied about the lesson. Now we will be doing summary of the lesson as well as the question answers of the lesson. So, some summary. My Childhood is an extract taken from biography of APJ Abdul Kalam, Wings of Fire. He was a great scientist and also the 14th President of India. He was born in a middle-class Muslim family in 1931 in the island town of Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. In his childhood, he was greatly influenced by his parents, his teachers, and his friends. His father, Zain-ul-Abidin, was not highly educated, but he was a generous and kind person. He was not rich, but provided a secure childhood to Abdul and his siblings. Abdul inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father and faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. Kalam earned his first wages of working as a helping hand to his cousin brother, Samsuddin, who distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram. In his childhood, he had three close friends, Ramananda Shastri, Arvindam, and Shiva Prakashan. Once, when he was in 5th standard, a new teacher asked him not to sit in front row, along with the high caste Brahmin boys. Abdul found Ramananda Shastri weeping as he went to the last row. This made a lasting impression on Abdul. Abdul was also greatly influenced by his science teacher, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer. He learned the lesson of breaking social barriers from him. Iyer invited him to his home for a meal. His wife refused to serve food to a Muslim boy in her pure kitchen. Iyer served him with his own hands and sat down beside him to eat his meal. He convinced his wife to serve meal with her own hand and thus was successful in changing her conservative attitude. For higher education, Abdul Kalam sought permission from his father to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramantpuram. His father said that Abdul had to go long way in his life, just like a seagull bird which flies long distances. He calmed down APJ's reluctant mother by quoting Khalil Gibran's poem, Your Children. He said that her children could not be dominated by her because they had their own thoughts. They did not belong to her, but were a result of life's desire for itself. He asked her to give them freedom to fulfill their thoughts. Now coming to the question number 1. Where was Abdul Kalam's house? Abdul Kalam's house was located on the Mosque Street in the town of Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu state. What do you think Dinamani is the name of? Give reason for your answer. Dinamani is the name of a newspaper. It is a vernacular daily printed in Tamil language. I think so because Kalam says that he traced the stories of war in the headlines of Dinamani. Question number 3. Who were Abdul Kalam's school friends? What did they later become? During his childhood, Abdul Kalam had three friends. Their names are Ramananda Shastri, Aravindram, and Shiva Prakashan. When they grew up, Ramananda Shastri became the priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Aravind started a business of transporting pilgrims to and from the Rameshwaram temple, and Shiva Prakashan became a caterer for the railways. Question number 4. How did Abdul Kalam earn his first wage? Abdul Kalam earned his first wage by catching the bundle of newspapers thrown out of the moving train at the Rameshwaram station. He helped his cousin in distributing newspapers in Rameshwaram. How did Abdul Kalam earn his first wages? Abdul Kalam earned his first wages by catching the bundle of newspapers thrown out of the moving train at the Rameshwaram station. He helped his cousin in distributing newspaper in Rameshwaram. Next question. Had he earned any money before that? In what way? When the Second World War started, there was a great demand for tambourine seeds. Kalam would collect them and sell them to a grocery store located on Mosque Street. He would earn an anna, which was a meager sum, but for him it was a handsome sum of money. How does the author describe his father, his mother, himself? Kalam's father's name was Jainuddin. He wasn't educated and was not a wealthy man. Kalam says that despite this, his father possessed innate wisdom, honesty, and was a generous man. He did not believe in wasting money on luxuries but provide them with all the necessities of life like food, clothing, and medicine. Kalam's mother name was Ashima. She supported her husband in his decisions. She was a kind-hearted woman. Kalam recollects that his mother would feed meals to numerous people. He inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness from her. Kalam was short and had ordinary looks, while his parents were tall and looked handsome. He was brought up in secure atmosphere. He grew up to become the honest and self-disciplined man. He believed in goodness and deep kindness. What characteristic does he say he inherited from his parents? Kalam's inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father. His mother imbibed him faith in goodness and deep kindness. This is an extract. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups, says the author. So now, on based of this extract, there is a question. That is, which social group does he mention? Were these groups easily identifiable, for example, by the way they dressed? The social group mentioned by Kalam were the Hindu, Brahmins, and the Muslims. Yes, these groups were easily identifiable by the way they dressed. As Kalam was a Muslim, he wore a cap which distinguished him from his Hindu Brahmin friends who wore the sacred thread. Now again the question with the same extract is, were they aware only of their differences, or did they also naturally share friendship and experiences? Think of bedtime stories in Kalam's house of who his friends were and of what used to take place in the pond near his house. No, they were not aware of any differences. Kalam and other children listened to the bedtime stories from their mother and grandmother. These were from both the Ramayana and from the life of Prophet. The family participated in Hindu festival of Sri Sitaram Kalyanam by arranging boats for transporting the idols from the temple to the pond located near the house. Now this one more question based on the same extract is, the author speaks both of people who were aware of the differences among them and those who tried to bridge these differences. Can you identify such people in the text? The people who were aware of these differences were the young teachers who came to teach Kalam's class in 5th standard. He ordered Kalam to sit on the last bench as they belonged to the lower caste. His science teacher Shiva Subramaniam Iyer's wife was an orthodox Hindu Brahmin. She refused to serve him food as she felt that his presence would render the kitchen impure. The people who bridged these differences were Ramananda Sastri's father, Lakshman Sastri, and Shiva Subramaniam Iyer. Lakshman Sastri was the priest of Rameshwaram temple. He scolded the young teacher and asked him to apologize for sowing the seed of religious discrimination into the innocent minds of the children. Upon his wife's refusal to serve, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer served food to Kalam and sat beside him to eat with reformed his wife. Now the next question. Again, here you will find question will related to the first question, and the first question again related to the second, and second question again related to the third. So here the first question is, why did Abdul Kalam want to leave Rameshwaram? So Abdul Kalam wanted to leave Rameshwaram and go to Ramanantapura for his higher studies. So now on this, what did his father say to this? This means when Abdul decided to leave Rameshwaram. His father said that he knew Kalam had to leave home as he had to fulfill his dreams. He gave the example of seagull bird which flies endlessly over long distances and does not have a nest too. He pacified Kalam's mother by quoting a few lines from the poem Your Children by Khalil Gibran. He said that her children were not her possession but were life's desire for itself. She should not impose her thoughts on them but should allow them to fulfill their thoughts. Again, the third question will be related to the same only. What do you think his words mean? Why do you think he spoke those words? Means his father. Abdul Kalam's father's word had a deep meaning. He inspired Kalam to follow his dreams, to fly high like the seagull. He wanted him to pursue higher studies and so allowed him to go to the Ramananthapuram. He explained to Kalam's mother to allow him to go and pursue higher education. He spoke these words to encourage Abdul Kalam and to control the emotion attachment of his mother. Now, your homework, here I end with the question answers. Now your homework that you will do by yourself, it's very easy. It's your matching with the word meanings and to create antonyms by adding un or in, that is un or in. Okay, so do question second part 1 and second in the book on page number 76. So please do these things in that. So children, here I end with my video. Any doubt, please do call me up. Thank you so much. Till then, bye bye, take care.